Hey, it's Nathan with optionsforl.com. In this video, I want to go over what happens when you actually log into our options trading platform. Now, real quick, you can use this platform without logging in or creating an account or anything like that. You can just come to tool.optionsforl.com or go to optionsforl.com and you'll see a link to the tool there. And you can go ahead and upload your trading data. Right now we support Robinhood, but in the near future we will support other brokerages, and you'll see a little drop down right here where you can select your brokerage and then you upload the relevant transaction data file in a CSV or XLSX file. So in Robinhood, you would just come to your account and you would go to reports and statements, and then you'd customize your report and select your account. Start date, I recommend the starting date of your account or when you made your very first trade with your account. And then end date, the most recent date that you have. You generate the report and then you download the CSV, and then you don't have to edit the CSV or anything like that. You can upload it straight onto the site. So if you came over here and you just opened up your file here and selected it, and it would go ahead and analyze your entire account. And again, you don't have to log in or sign up or submit your email address or anything in order to get this information. But what I want to show you in this video is what happens when you do sign up and log in. So I'm going to go ahead and log in real quick. Alrighty, so I'm all logged in. You can see that I have my profile right here, Nathan, and we'll check that out in just a second. You can also switch between various trading accounts, so you can load an unlimited number of trading accounts within your Options for L account. And also we have a consolidated view, so if you want to view all your accounts in one view, you could go ahead and select that option. But I'm running the demo account right now so you can see what it looks like when you start fresh. So here we are, and we need to go ahead and upload our trading data, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick. Again, same file as before. We'll go ahead and open it. And there we go, our trading data has been loaded into our account. And what does that mean when our trading data is loaded into our account? Well, if you come over to your transaction history, you can see all of the transactions in that CSV or Excel file that you uploaded, and you can see them all right here. And upon uploading it, we have an algorithm that's going to go ahead and match your various transactions together and apply any sort of relevant strategies to them. Like you can see right here, it recognized that these trades right here were iron condor trades. So it starts grouping and using smart technology to group your transactions based off of the various option strategies that are available to you. You can see covered calls, diagonal spreads, and we got some long puts right here, and so on. So that's what it's doing when you're uploading your information, is it's connecting all of your transactions and your trades together to form these various option positions. Now you may also notice you can leave comments or notes on your various transactions. So you could just click this little comment option or note option and leave a note. And you can click add note, and there you go. And so this may be very useful so you can remember why you took certain actions. So we'll close that out real quick, and you can see right there we have a little 1 right by where we left that note. So now let me head over to the dashboard real quick. We'll go to the dashboard, and there's the same options as when you're not logged in. You can change your time period and so on. The same graphs and tables and everything. But if we come up here, you may notice something special. There's a Get Live Prices button. So if we click that option, the tool goes out and fetches the live prices of the various stocks and options that you have within your account. And then it recalculates your profit and loss statements across your account and all of your positions. And it also loads in a bunch of other information like the various Greeks like delta, theta, gamma, etc. And you'll see more of that in just a second. But you can see that my total P&L live just updated, and anything that's live or has current values is designated with a lightning bolt. So you can see that my total P&L adjusted quite significantly when I loaded in the current live prices of the stocks and options that I have in my account. Now, speaking of stocks, since we have that information, you can go ahead and include stocks in your profit and loss statement. So if we click this, we can see that the total P&L live plus stocks updates with the total current value of both your options and your stocks, and same with the realized plus stocks. So that can be helpful if you want to see how your entire portfolio is doing, not just your options. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off real quick because the main purpose of this tool is tracking your options. But since we have the stock data anyway, we might as well include it in case you want to view everything in one place. Now let me come over to open positions real quick and we'll take a look at that. So here we are in open positions, and we can see some additional information. So we have our live P&L. Since we're pulling in the live data, we can see our live P&L, and it also shows us some position Greeks as well, like our delta, gamma, theta, vega, etc. And if we go over to the next column, our roll chain, we can get the live pricing information from the roll chain. You see that little lightning bolt there, and also the live prices. So that feeds into the tool right here, and we can see our various legs within our option position. So I have a $55 call. The current price is 3 cents. The delta is 0.04. Moving on down, we can see SPY, my iron condor right here. We can see all 4 legs. We can see the current prices. We can see the current deltas. If we stay hovered over it, we can see the Greeks for this individual legs as well. It gives us all that information, not to mention the intrinsic and extrinsic values, the implied volatility, volume, open interest, etc. So a whole bunch of different information is available at your fingertips. Let's scroll over a little bit more, and you can see that there's a column right here for tags. So you're able to tag your various positions. So maybe you're running a strategy like a poor man's covered call or a wheel strategy, and you want to go ahead and tag those different strategies. So that way you can filter them and run analysis on them later on. You can easily tag your various positions. Like if I click on it, it opens up the position, and we can see the option right here for tags, and we'll go ahead and add a tag, and we'll just call it test. But you can also add multiple tags if you want to do that. So let me call this also something different, and we'll click on plus, and we can just click off of it, and there we go. So we got some tags, and you can do tag analysis. I'll show you where that is later on. And additionally, you can go ahead and add notes or comments to your particular position. So position comment, and I didn't spell that correctly, but there we go. Add note, and there you go. So now we have a note. Now the last action available right here is to go ahead and split this multi-leg position into separate legs. So sometimes the smart grouping isn't as smart as we want it to be. And so if it inappropriately groups different transactions together, you can break them apart and manage them separately. Additionally, you can regroup them any sort of way you want to. And I'll show you that in just a second here. But let me go ahead and click into this transaction so you can see what it looks like now that we're signed into our account and we have access to additional information. So let's click into it. Now, of course, we have the tagging right here, which we already went over, but let me come up here as well. There's also a split option, and what the split option does is allow you to break out different numbers of contracts from this particular position. So you can see that I have 4 option legs right here, and each option leg has 3 contracts, but maybe I only wanted 1 contract per option leg. And so if I came up here and I clicked on split, I could go ahead and move the extra options off of this particular position. And this might be a little complicated to understand at the moment, but the point is that it's very flexible. So that way you can make sure that you have the positions that you actually are trying to track, and you're not dependent upon some sort of algorithm that's grouping stuff together and it doesn't really belong together. So moving on, we can see that we have the position Greeks. So this accounts for all of the various option legs within that position, and it produces the Greeks for the entire position as a whole. We have our option legs right here. You can see all 4 option legs for this iron condor. We can see all the details like the current value versus what I entered at, the Greeks for this particular leg, the intrinsic and extrinsic values, my live P&L for this particular leg, the fact that it's out of the money, and so on. And it breaks it down for every single leg within that particular position. So as you can see, it gives you a lot of information when you're logged in, especially since you can pull in that real-time information. So let me close out of it real quick. And let me go into a rolled position as well so you can see what that looks like. So I'll open this position up and we'll scroll on down and we can see our roll chain history. And you can see that it gives us more information. Like it gives us the live roll open position P&L. We can see the initial position, the roll one, and then the current position. And it includes all of the current Greeks and all that type of information right here in our roll chain history. So that can be very handy and help you better analyze your particular positions. Now, same concept with the closed position. So I'm not going to go into great details over here. But I do want to move on to transaction history and show you how you can group different transactions. So let's say that iron condor we were looking at earlier wasn't actually an iron condor. It was a put credit spread and a call credit spread. So let's come down here and find our different transactions. So here's the call. This is the sell to open, so the short call. And then we have the buy to open. So this is the long call option right here. So we can select both of them with a little checkbox next to it and group as position. And this will be our call credit spread. So call credit spread. And create position, and there we go. So it created that position. Now if I come to my open positions right here, I don't know if you noticed, but it changed from a 14 to a 15. So here we go, right in here. we can see that we now have a call credit spread, and we also have our put credit spread right here. So it was smart enough to know, like, hey, it's not an iron condor. One of that is a call credit spread, and therefore the other position must be a put credit spread. And you can also see this little M right here, and the M stands for manually grouped. So anytime it takes any sort of like manual step or manual process, it puts a little icon next to it so you can keep track of where you did certain things. Now let's say you're like, oh shoot, I messed up. It actually is an iron condor. You simply come back over here and you ungroup that particular position, and it's smart enough to go ahead and stick it back together as an iron condor. So that's how you can go about grouping and ungrouping transactions. And again, there's also that split feature where you can break out individual contracts from within a position. So the moral of the story is you can make sure that you're tracking exactly what you want to track. All right, let's move over to the analysis tab right now. And we have a few different reports within this tab. So the first report is the role analysis report, and it gives you a breakdown of all your various roles. And so you can see the number of role chains, success rate, total net P&L, average days held, and it just goes through all the different roles that you've made, the symbol, the number of roles, the different strategies, and so on, plus data points like the number of days, the credits, debits, realized, net, and so on. And of course you can click into it and get some more details as well. And you can see that it's saying that I need to load the live prices in. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so now we're looking at the live data as well. So you can see all the different Greeks and all that good stuff. So that's one of the analysis reports. Let's move on down. We also have tag analysis. So if you align tags to any of your different positions or transactions, you can go ahead and analyze them right here really easily. Now I only have 2 tags in this particular demo account. I have my test tag and my test tag name. And I applied both of these tags to the same position, so it's giving me the same exact results. But anyway, if you want to analyze different positions based off of your tags, we have a report for that. Moving on, we also have the stock holdings report. So this is where you can keep track of your stocks, not just your options. So this breaks down all the stocks in your account, and it gives you the relevant details about them. For example, the number of shares, average cost basis, current price, market value, unrealized profit and loss, realized profit and loss. You can click into it. So for example, on iBit here, I transferred 149 shares from one account into my Robinhood account, and you can see that there's 149 shares basically that doesn't have an average cost associated with them. So I could go ahead and assign an average cost to them. So I could enter a cost basis. Let's say I just do $1, for example, and save. And there you go, my cost basis has been updated for those 122 shares, $1 share. My average cost basis lowered quite a bit because $1 per share is significantly lower than my current average cost basis. And if I'm like, oh, that was a mistake, I can come back in here and just clear that out of there. And there we go. So back to normal. And once I get my actual cost basis, I could go ahead and plug that in. So anyway, it's just a little dashboard so you can manage the stocks that are in your account. Again, since we have the data, figured we might as well use it and add some features. But again, the main purpose of the platform is to manage your stock options. So the final report I want to go over right now is the AI report. And this is probably the coolest report that we have within the tool right now. And so what it's going to do is it's going to analyze all of our open positions and give us recommendations on how we can interact with those positions, what to watch for, and things like that. Now, of course, none of this is financial advice. It's for educational purposes only, but I still think it's pretty cool. So I'm going to click Generate Report, and then we'll see what it reports back to us, as this process does take about 30 to 90 seconds. So we'll wait for a few. And while we're waiting, I should say that the AI that we're currently using is Claude Sonnet 4.5, which I find to be the best analytical AI at this moment in time. But if I find a different model, we'll go ahead and upgrade the platform to support the best model at that period of time. All right, so here's our comprehensive portfolio analysis, portfolio overview and risk assessment. So we got our performance metrics. Your portfolio shows strong overall performance with a $23,215 in total profit and loss, a solid 63.2% win rate across 76 closed positions, and some more details. Portfolio composition breaks that out. Overall risk profile, moderately bullish with significant concentration risk. Then we got our Greeks analysis and implications. We got delta, gamma, theta, and Vega right here, and then it gives us details within each of the different Greeks with various key insights as well. All good information. We have position specific observations, so urgent attention required right here. So this one right here is expiring in 4 days, so that's why it's urgent, but action needed. The position expires in 4 days. The calls are only 3 cents, so assignment risk is minimal. Consider closing early to stop the theta bleed or let expire worthless. And that's a very reasonable recommendation for that particular position. Our next target is this one right here. Then we got some cash secured puts with major capital commitment right here. So it goes through every single open position. Here's the SPY iron condors that we kind of looked at earlier. They're well structured, so that's nice to hear. We have some long calls. We got some theta or time decay analysis right here. Critical theta issues and key risk and considerations. My LI bit concentration risk is severity of high, assignment risk, severity high, negative theta bleed, severity, medium risk, and so on. Down to moderate risk right here, so volatility expansion, whipsaw risk, correlation risk, suggested actions, immediate, this week, right now. And it says what I think I should do, and so on. So a whole bunch of different information. You can see it's a full-blown analysis report right here. And it looks like I got a little bit of formatting issue right here, but I'll work on getting that corrected. The point is, I don't think I've seen any other tools out there on the market like really take a deep dive into your current open positions with the current live pricing and Greeks and all that stuff, so it can provide you up-to-date real-time analysis on your portfolio. So I think that this feature is really cool and help you get a handle on the different actions that you need to take in your particular options trading account, especially if you have a bunch of open options or open positions. This could really help you narrow in on what you should be looking at first. Now finally, of course, we have account options. So we come into account settings and you can go ahead and update your display name. You can log in with 2 different methods. We have Nostr and email, and you can see a summary of your total transactions, your uploads, and then we have your trading accounts, and you can have as many accounts as you would like. Again, we're going to be adding more brokers in the near future, so if you have options in various brokers, you'll be able to import all of them to this platform. And you can add and delete and update accounts right here. And then you have your trading account data, and you can switch between your different trading accounts. You can go ahead and export your data, update any sort of manual adjustments that you've made, like we can click in here. And so here's all the manual adjustments that I've made over time. And if I mess something up, I could go ahead and wipe that out and kind of start over. And then you can also see your upload history as well. And from here, you could go ahead and delete your files or upload new files. And I should mention that we have smart deduplication. So if you upload transaction file that contains transactions that have already been uploaded to the platform, it's not going to duplicate them, which I find to be a nice feature to have. That way I can just pull, a full year's worth of transactions. And when I upload it, it only imports the latest ones that haven't been uploaded to the platform yet. And so that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful or interesting. And if you're interested in checking it out, head over to tool.options4l.com or just options4l.com and you'll find a link to the tool over there. And check it out, see if it works for you. But that's it for this video. I hope you have a great rest of the day.